Welcome to the Tradier Rundown. I am Jim Urio. That is Bob Iacchino. Together, the two of us, we are the co-hosts of Tradier's The Trader's Edge, the show that critics call, well, like maybe not critics, critic calls smart and irreverent, and something about us being smarter than we look or something like that, but I forgot that part. But we are a critically acclaimed show. Just let's go with that. How are you, Robert?
Good. How are you, buddy?
Good. Today's rundown topic is one of my all-time favorite things.
Yeah.
So just to set the stage, in 2008, in the presidential debates between Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton, both candidates accepted the notion that when capital gains taxes are lowered, it increases the revenue from that tax at certain levels and levels that we are clearly at. Both of them accepted that. So that both parties accepted that's true. Barack Obama said he wanted to raise the capital gains tax because of fairness. I don't know what the hell that means, but it does. So now fast forward to Kamala Harris running for president in 2024. Not only she wants to raise the capital gains tax to like 500%. That's an exaggeration. It's about 44% is what she said though, right? And here's the kicker. She wants to tax unrealized gains. Thoughts?
Okay, so first of all, the way that they get you to ignore this is by saying it's only going to affect people with incomes of over 100 million. So the first thing that will happen is every person with significant, substantial capital gains will try to reduce their income so that they don't fall into that tax bracket. They'll say, no, don't pay me. Give me stock. Because if you take me down to the level where I only make 99 million in salary and the rest in stock, I don't have to pay this capital gains. And that's at whatever level they put it at. It almost doesn't matter. But number two, I'm going to mention Becky Quick, who you and I both like, even though she works for a network that's garbage. Becky Quick, I think she had the best line about it. She said, the government taxing unrealized capital gains is trying to collect money that people don't have. And if you tax unrealized capital gains, people have to sell something. And when you sell something, you create a second taxable event on the sale of those capital gains because it becomes income. So you have to sell something else if you want to hold that investment. In theory, you're double taxing people and you're disincentivizing holding assets. And a lot of those assets, companies, stocks, down the chain are creating jobs and wealth for people below them. It is a horrible, horrible, horrible idea.
Taking away the notion that it is completely horrible and immoral, and I say immoral because they're certainly not going to cover capital losses at any point in time, too.
Right.
It's just having the villagers grab their pitchforks, pointing to the ultra millionaires and saying, these are the reason your life sucks. Let's go after them. It's absolutely absurd. You mentioned something that's very interesting. The day that Jeff Bezos is going to have to sell 2% of his Amazon stock to meet his tax burden, guys like you and I are going to know about it, and we are going to front run the shit out of that thing. It would be irresponsible not to, in a completely legal way, people. Of course, we're going to do that. That's just what normal people do. The notion that it in any way makes sense is ridiculous. Any more thoughts on it? Well,
I think you made a good point. There'll be 2 to 3 mini crashes in different stocks and in different sectors, including tech, around the time the taxes are due, or quarterly tax payment are due, in addition to other mini crashes. It'll add volatility to the equity markets. And remember this, and I know you'll agree with me on this. Right now, they're going to put it above a certain income level. You will all either reach that income level at some point, or they will drop the level where it applies, because now they have a new way to collect money from you. It will affect you or your children or your grandchildren down the road. Do not vote for somebody who wants to put a new kind of tax on you.
Here's the thing too. When they start talking about the deficit and the national debt that's approaching $36 trillion, and both sides talk about how to reduce it, neither side talks about cutting spending at all. These people are not serious if they just think that in an already high tax burden economy it is. And guys who make between, like, let's say $200,000 and $350,000 pay 50% of their income in taxes. I know there's people out there going, well, no, income taxes only. I'm not talking, I said taxes. I'm talking from tollways to dog tags to real estate to building permits to all the bullshit taxes that we're punched with. We have never been in a condition where we had a higher tax burden than we do right now in this country. And many, many people pretend that we don't. It is anytime we would lower taxes, I guarantee I'd be willing to bet some sizable amounts that we would raise revenue by increasing business activity from a tax environment now that distorts and diminishes business activity currently. Do you disagree with any of that?
A friend of mine just moved to Southwest Florida from New York, and he lived in Manhattan because he said last year, with this cumulative taxes, what you're just talking about right there, all the taxes he had to pay, which included Manhattan as a city tax, right? He paid 59% of his income in taxes.
Yeah.
59%. That means he has to work almost a full 7 months before any of it goes to rent or food. It's outrageous.
It is not their money, and they treat it like it is. And it's a bullshit system that we got to break the shackles of. This has been the Tradier's Rundown. I am Jim Uriel. That's Bob Iacchino. We're host of the critically acclaimed Trader's Edge, 3 o'clock live on Wednesdays on the Tradier Hub. Thank you guys for joining us. None of this works without you.
You know how the financial world goes. Here comes the buzzkill. Please make sure to take some time to read this boring disclaimer. We will owe you one.